Hello to everybody. Uh, I want to help you with the simple present. That's the reason for that video. Okay, let me explain some of the uses of this tense in English. Okay, let's start. We use the present simple to talk about something that is true in the present. For example, when you want to say your age. So I am 19 years old. Or maybe when something that happens regularly in the present, I play football every weekend, or something that is always true. Human body contains 206 bones. If you say we have the verb to be in this sentence and another verbs like play and contain. Okay, let's see first the verb to be. As you already know, the verb to be in positive has this form. I am and his contraction am. You are, you're. He is, his. She is, she's. It is, it's. We are, we're. They are, they're. This is the verb to be. Okay, that's easy. You already know this verb in the simple present. Let's check another verbs. What happened with another verbs? We must to uh, be a difference between the subject. For example, you say that we have I, you, we, they, and the verb, and in another row we have she, he, she, it, the third person in singular. That's easy because when we are talking about I, you, we, and they, the verb remains in infinitive mode. What is the meaning of the infinitive? In Spanish, it's like a verbo sin conjugar. For example, speak and learn. You can say I speak, you speak, we speak, and they speak. And the verb remains in this form. Learn, I learn, you learn, we learn, they learn, and the verb remains in the infinitive mode, doesn't change. For example, he, she, it has a little change in the verb because we add an s to the end of the verbs. He speaks, she speaks, it speaks, or he learns, she learns, and it learns. This only happened with the subject, the third person in singular, he, she, it. That only the persons that change the verbs, adding an s at the end. Okay? Spelling for the verb in the third person differs depending on the ending of that verb. Okay, we have three rules to change the verbs for the third person. Third person in singular are he, she, it. Okay. Mm, that rule only applies when you are talking about the third person in singular. We have the first rule for the verbs that end in O, CH, SH, SS, X, or Z. We add ES in the third person. For example, the verb go change to goes. Only used for he, she, it. He goes, she goes, and it goes. For example, for the first person, I must to say I go, we go, they go, you go. Okay? Another verb catch. Catches. He catches, she catches, it catches. For the other person, I catch, you catch, we catch. Watch. Washes. He washes, she washes, he washes. Okay. Kiss. Kisses. He kisses, she kisses, it kisses. And finally, we have fix, fixes. This is the way to change those verbs on the third person singular. Finally, we have buses. Okay, remember the infinitive mode of the verb go, catch, watch, kiss, fix, bus applies only for the first person, second person, and the other plurals. But goes, catches, washes, kisses, fixes, and buses only apply for he, she, it. Okay? And this is the way to change. We must to add es with the verb ends in o, ch, sh, ss, x, and z. Okay? This is the first rule. We have the second rule for verbs that end in a consonant and a y. We remove the y and add ies. Mary. Mary ends in a consonant. This is the consonant R and the y. We must to replace the y with an e and add es. Marys. Okay, consonant and y. Another example, study. Consonant and a y. Studies. Remove the y. Remove the y and add ies. Another example, carry. Consonant and y. Carries. Okay. Worry. Consonant and y. Worries. Okay. We have now the third rule for verbs that end in a vowel and y. In this case, we just add s. If you see that similar verbs that end in a y and y, that in this case is with a consonant, and indeed the number 3 is with a vowel ending in y. First example is play. If you see this is a vowel and y, we only add s, plays. Another example, enjoy, vowel and y, enjoys. Third example, say, vowel and y, says. Okay, that's only for the third person and singular. Remember, he, she, it. Okay, we must uh, let's see the negative form in present simple. To make negative form, you need to use do not, don't, or doesn't. That is called as auxiliary verbs in the present simple. Do not and does not. The difference, if you can see it, for the first and second person and third person in plural, and in this row we have same third person in singular. This is the only person that going to use does not or doesn't. The other cases use do not. For example, I do not have cereal for breakfast. This is the negative form used with the auxiliary do and does. You don't buy cereal for breakfast. We do not eat cereal for breakfast. They don't like cereal for breakfast. What happened? The third person in singular. He doesn't have cereal for breakfast. She doesn't buy cereal for breakfast. And it doesn't eat cereal for breakfast. If you see in this case the verb remains in infinitive mode. With you are talking in the negative form, you don't need to add the s at the end of the verb because this applies to the auxiliary. Okay, this case for all the persons, for all the subjects, the verb remains. You don't need to add the s. It likes, for example. You only use does and doesn't. for he, she, it, and the verb remains in infinitive mode. Examples: you don't speak Arabic. You don't. John doesn't speak Italian. In this case, John is he. He doesn't. John doesn't speak Italian. We don't have time for a rest. We. We use do not. It doesn't move. It use doesn't move. They don't want to go to the party. They use don't. Finally, she doesn't like fish. She doesn't like fish. If you see the verb speak, have, move, want, and like remains in infinitive, doesn't change in negative form. Don't change the verb. Only in affirmative sentence is when you need to change the verb applying the three rules um, of the last slideshow. Okay, let's continue. Question in the simple present. We use do and does again before the subject to make the yes no question is normally put at the beginning of the question. In this case, we have do and does. And again, he, she, it are different for the other subject. In this case, if you see the verb remains in the infinitive mode. Do I have a new bike? Do you need a new bike? Do we want a new bike? Do they have a new bike? And the third person in singular, the question is, does he have a new bike? Does she have a new bike? And does it want a new bike? Remember, in this case, um, in negative form and question, the auxiliary do doesn't have meaning. It's only an auxiliary. In this case, do you need a dictionary? ¿Necesitas un diccionario? Does Mary need a dictionary? Mary necesita un diccionario. Do we have a meeting now? Tendremos una reunión ahora. If you see, we don't translate do, does, and do. There are only auxiliary, and it's necessary to use it with when you want to make a question. Do and does. Does it rain a lot in winter? Do they want to go to the party? Does he like pizza? Okay. Does it? Does he? Do they? Do you? Does Mary? Do we? Does Mary because Mary is she. Okay? Okay. Let's check the difference between the verb to be and other verbs. For example, for the verb to be, we have affirmative mode. I am a teacher. You are a student. She is my friend. You remember the verb to be is am, are used for different subject. Okay. The negative form, you need to add the word not. I am not a teacher. You are not a student. And she is not my friend. In a question, we start the question with the verb to be. Am I a teacher? Are you a student? Is she my friend? Am, are, is, starting with the verb to be. What happened with other verbs in the present simple? Affirmative mode. I work as a teacher. You study in a school. She plays with me. In this case, if you remember, we add the s at the end of this verb, play. She plays with me. Negative form, we use done or doesn't. I don't work as a teacher. You don't study in a school. And she doesn't play with me. We use doesn't because it's the third person in singular. Okay. Finally, with questions. All the questions start with do or does. Do you work as a teacher? Do you study in a school? And does she play with me? Does, remember, third person. And check the verb work, study, play. Work, study, play. Work, study, plays. This is the only that change. Okay, that's the difference. The verb to be and other verbs. I hope that this explanation solves some of your doubts about this tense. At the end of the slideshow, you have some exercise like a crossword. Maybe you need to print this exercise. Another crossword. This in this case, you need to change the verbs mm, the to the form, the correct form with the third person. For example, stay turns into stays because ends in a Y and a vowel stays. Same case with enjoy, enjoys. Do ends in a O, change into does with an ES, ES, does. Push, pushes. Carry, if you remember, must change the Y and substitute with an IES, carries. Okay, that's the point of this exercise only. You need to change all these verbs in the third person in singular for the present simple. In this case, you need to complete this exercise writing the right way to this verb. They played, play hockey at school. She doesn't write. Don't use this word too. Don't use this. They play. She doesn't write. Do you speak English? My parents don't like fish. Does and have any hobbies? And this brother works in an office, works because we are talking about the and this brother he works in an office with an s at the end, works. Leroy uh, can can read very fast. Mm. Do Jim and Joe water the flowers every week? Do, because Jim and Joe are they. Ivan's mother doesn't ride a motorbike. Does Elizabeth drink soda? Okay, and we have another exercise. You need to answer this according with this verb and the correct person. Okay, and that's all for this lesson. I'm going to publish some another exercise for you, and if you have any doubt, please tell me. I am going to explain all that you want to need to know. Okay.